The organism's ability to keep our body weight constant is also known as the homeostatic mechanism. Homeostasis refers to the body's remarkable ability to maintain internal stability and balance in the face of ever-changing external conditions. It's like being a master multitasker, constantly juggling to keep things in harmony. Think of it as the body's thermostat, always working behind the scenes to maintain optimal conditions for cells to function properly. Homeostasis keeps an eye on many factors like heart rate, blood pressure, blood sugar levels, temperature, oxygen levels, and body weight. Indeed, our body weight is kept constant, as our organism has a regulation system, balancing our energy intake, or how much we eat, with the energy consumption, or how much we burn. Our organism keeps this balance by regulating our metabolism, which dictates how much energy we consume, and our appetite, which influences how much we eat or our energy intake. Obesity is not just a disease of excessive adiposity, it is also a disease characterized by the dysregulation of the homeostatic system, which keeps our weight in the normal range. People suffering from obesity have their weight set up too high and are constantly hungry as their bodies behave as if they are suffering from starvation. It seems very strange indeed, but it will all make sense. First, let's discuss how our organism controls our appetite. Food intake is an essential function that is coordinated by the gastrointestinal, endocrine, and nervous systems. The food intake function is processed by the central nervous system via integration of neural and hormonal signals received from the periphery. Fat cells and enterocytes from the inner lining of the small intestine also have an important role in the coordination of the food intake cycle, as they secrete specific hormones which influence our appetite. The food intake cycle is comprised of 3 phases: hunger, satiation, and satiety. Hunger represents the sensation of requiring food. Hunger triggers the motivation to seek and initiate food consumption. Satiation is the process that controls the meal size and leads to meal termination. Satiety is the period after reaching satiation. During this period of time, eating behavior is inhibited. It will end as food digestion continues, absorptive signals disappear, and the next feeding period begins. The food intake cycle begins when an individual feels hunger and eats until they reach satiation and then fasts for a period known as satiety. Hunger is the desire to eat, and it is described as an uncomfortable emptiness in the abdomen. While we eat, we start to experience satiation or the sensation of fullness that results in meal termination. And satiety is the term given to the postprandial events that determine the timing for the next meal. After satiety fades, we start to experience hunger once more, and we feel the motivation to seek and consume food. While we eat, we start to experience the sensation of fullness which determines us to stop eating. The durability of the fullness sensation is represented by satiety. Although these terms imply that food intake regulation is a step-by-step system, this is not true. The integration of internal signals, hormonal, neuronal, and metabolic, and external cues, behavioral, and cognitive, regulate the food intake cycle. This integration of information dictates what, when, and how much we eat. However, the precise moment that establishes the change from one stage to the next one has yet to be determined. The food intake cycle is governed by neural and hormonal signals which control our appetite, just like traffic lights control the passing of cars through a crowded intersection. Let's explore those signals.